I somehow managed to lose my voice, and I'm not even kidding about this. I somehow managed to lose my voice after recording 9 YouTube videos in a single sort of 4-hour session. One of the oddest experiences of my life. I'd recently recovered from having a little bit of a cold. I woke up on a Sunday morning, I think it was, and I felt fine to sort of record a few videos. I ended up getting 9 done in the end from the amount that I had scripted, and I was feeling great. I was happy with what I achieved. I started to sort of upload them to YouTube, get some of them edited, etc., downloaded, all that sort of stuff. That's sort of the admin work, not really physical work and stuff. Yet, maybe a few hours later, when I was editing a video, realizing that I made a mistake and needed to do a voiceover to sort of cover another part of that video, another topic of that video, I realized that I literally wasn't able to speak. I couldn't actually, because I was obviously quite quiet. I was just in my room doing some work. I hadn't been speaking to people for a lot of that day. I tried to sort of speak into the mic and just nothing really came out other than sort of a squeaky whisper. And I was just like, I was scared because I had to see people this in the evening. It was just one of the weirdest experiences of my life. I never lost my voice before whatsoever. Yeah, after recording 9 whole YouTube videos, my throat was incredibly sore afterwards, which normally happens, but normally doesn't go as far as then having a lost voice. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but sometimes when I'm talking to someone, having a conversation, my mouth often gets quite dry. It needs a lot of water to sort of replenish the mouth muscles in a way from speaking so much. That happens to me quite often. I have to sort of drink a lot in between the videos that I'm recording. But yeah, it was just the oddest experience of my life. I wonder if anyone can sort of relate to this experience, but it's just a really odd thing. I'm not sure if there are too many lessons you can take from this. It did like impact how I could sort of act socially quite a lot. When I went to then college on Monday and Tuesday, by the time it was Wednesday, I was all fine, pretty much all recovered. But Monday and Tuesday were some of the weirdest experiences that I've ever had in my life. I basically wasn't able to talk to people. I'd have to go up really close to them, whisper what I wanted to say, and that was kind of the loudest that I pretty much could go until Wednesday, because otherwise it would just be like really squeaky and sort of go up and down. It was just not a nice thing to happen. I don't really know how this managed to happen. I've recorded a lot of YouTube videos in sessions before, yet I've never had a lost voice after one of them. I suppose it's probably because I did have a bit of a cold, but I thought I was ripe and ready to recover. Maybe when you do have colds, illnesses, diseases, etc., maybe you should sort of listen to your body, give it a bit more time than you may think necessary to recover, because otherwise you may end up with something that happened to me. You get a lost voice, or you have sort of another onset disease. It's, yeah, something that I don't recommend having. Always try to avoid a lost voice because it just impacts your life so much more than you think. Be almost grateful in a way for your voice. That's something that I really wanted to mention. I don't think I've ever been more grateful for having not like a voice in a metaphorical sense, but an actual voice, the actual ability for me to speak. And also, I've been at college for quite a lot for the past like couple of weeks or so. I mean, I'm recording this maybe about a month in advance when it's actually going to come out. But I don't think I've ever been more grateful for the time to record these YouTube videos, the environment of my home atmosphere, just being grateful for things that you often take for granted will change your perspective on life massively. And losing my voice really allowed me to do this because once I got it back, I was so grateful, and I never ever want that to happen again, and I will do my best to not let that happen again. But it was just the weirdest experience. I don't know if anyone can relate to having a lost voice before. I don't know if anyone can relate to sort of needing a lot of water when they're sort of talking to someone, speaking a lot in general. Just, it's not a nice thing. Don't recommend it. Be grateful for things that you may often just take for granted, and you don't really think as sort of things that you need to be grateful for because they're sort of necessary. They sort of come with the experience of life. But then as soon as they go away, you will never ever forget that they're there. You will always be grateful for them. And I highly encourage you to sort of be grateful for them before you have that life-altering experience when you realise that I will never ever take this for granted again. Because often, maybe those life-changing experiences that were negative weren't actually worth the sort of ability to be grateful for that thing that you previously took for granted in the end. That's about all the lessons that I can sort of think of from this peculiar experience, which, yeah, I hope someone at least can sort of resonate with me on this and talk about their experiences in the comments or whatever. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you don't ever have a lost voice, and I highly recommend being grateful for things like that, your vision, your sense of smell, etc. And yeah, I also recommend subscribing because I love this community of young tribal people who are willing to improve themselves so much more than they already have. And good luck.